Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 144. If I seem a little bit different and the voice is a little bit different, it's because I've been sick for a week. And I'm still sick. But we have a lot of news to go through, like Toyota has been caught lying, and Ford has been found guilty in stealing. Tesla earns 8 times more in profits than Toyota per car. And companies are joining forces to try to survive the EV disruption. And Tesla makes new production record. And Elon made a Q&A about Twitter. And Tesla Model 3 leads the pack in European efficiency tests. And Tesla is getting ready for Cybertruck production. All this and much more on today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
Last week we talked about how the first bankruptcy from the legacy automakers has taken place in China. And now we get the other side of the collapsing ICE industry. Companies joining forces to try to survive the disruption. Geely and Renault will create a new global company to develop, produce and supply advanced hybrids and low-emission powertrains. On completion, the new company will comprise of 17 powertrain plants, 5 R&D centers in 3 continents, with around 19,000 employees supplying 130 countries. New organization structure, combining a strategic footprint and attractive business model, will welcome new partners in due course. Yeah, this will not be the last of joint ventures. More to come as more companies is struggling to stay afloat. But at this time, when it's all about pace of innovation and being agile, I don't think this is a great long-term solution to make yourself even bigger and try to merge 2 different cultures into one company. I have a very hard time seeing this as something that will make them more agile or increase their pace of innovation. I can of course be wrong, but they didn't even say, okay, we are going to make a new company that will focus on BEVs and try to become the leader in the EV race as all the others have said. No, as they mention, it will have a combined capacity of over 5 million internal combustion, hybrid and plug-in hybrid engines and transmissions per year. The new company's joint product and portfolio and regional footprint could offer solutions to 80% of the global ICE market. Yeah, this does not look good to me. Geely said earlier this year that they wanted to become 50% electric in 2023, but this announcement does not really support that, as they don't really say anything about BEVs in this statement. It's all about hybrids and next generation hybrids propulsion system. In the future, the partnership could also offer powertrain technologies to third-party car brands. In the future, we are heading towards a fully electric vehicle future at an insane pace, and they want to spend a lot of money on developing hybrids that are not a part of the future. It makes no sense, but we will see what will happen. But we should probably expect to see more of the big boys joining forces as they try to stay alive. And Tesla is down about 44% this year, but it's not just Tesla. There has been days where 99% of stocks has lost value, and this might have made you think, wait, I'm diversified, why is my portfolio getting wrecked? Because maybe we are not diversified in the right way. We need to find a modern solution, a 2022 way of diversifying. And sure, a single day does not make the market, and Tesla to me is a very long-term investment, but this is not just a buy the dip scenario for the entire stock market. We need to know what to buy. See, Goldman Sachs released a stock report saying the classic stock bond strategy won't be enough to keep investors afloat. I mean, look at this. It was down 20% this year alone. Forget day trading, value hunting and whatever. Like I said, 99% of stock lost value after the last rate hike. As a result, Goldman Sachs says the ideal allocation for stock has shrunk from 60% to 45%. So what do they recommend that you do with the difference in order to salvage your stolen returns? Invest in real
assets. Like, why not? They say it can not only protect your purchase power, but the last time inflation was this high, from 1973 to 81, it appreciated at an average of 17.5% per year. That made it one of the only three things that gained value during that time. I have been talking about art's strength many times before on this channel. That is why I partnered up with Masterworks, that is sponsoring this video. They sold a painting just last month in October for a 21.5% net return for their investors. Can you name me an investment that delivered that kind of value right now? Not just in times like these, but for the last 26 years in a row, contemporary art has outpaced the S&P 500 by 131%. Masterworks had to acquire and release more art on their platform to meet demand, and there is a waiting list. But you can skip that waiting list by using my link in the description below. I've been talking about Masterworks for most of this year, telling you guys this is the future of investment and a very good way for us Tesla long-term investors to diversify and get some net returns here and now. So go check out that link in the description below.
And speaking of Tesla stock being down, this week we learned one of the reasons why, and we also got some new records out of China. A series of Form 4s submitted to the SEC revealed that Elon Musk has sold nearly $4 billion worth of Tesla stock over the last trading days. Musk has now sold a total of $20 billion worth of Tesla stock since he launched his takeover attempt of Twitter. So this has of course put some downward pressure on the stock, but now all of this should hopefully soon be over as the deal is done, and I think that was the last stock Elon needed to sell. So now we can move forward and focus on the fundamentals of the company, not Twitter but Tesla, that is still executing on all areas, so I still only see this as a very nice discount on the stock. And speaking of discount, Tesla China did roll out a new discounted rate for inventory vehicles just a few weeks after they lowered their prices. It appears that Tesla really wants to boost its sales in Q4, so this could indicate that Tesla did not get the expected effect of the lowering of the price as they had hoped for. But as I also showed last week, new energy vehicles wholesales in China in October did not grow very much, maybe because China is kind of in a recession right now and the demand for expensive luxury vehicles might have been going down. As we could see this week, the domestic retail sales of new energy vehicles was actually down in October. So it was not just Tesla, but the all-over market was a bit down in October. But Tesla has the power to lower their prices even more as they are earning a lot of money on their cars. So this should be something the others can't really follow as they already lose money on their cars. So this could also be Tesla just flexing their muscles. As we saw, Xpeng was actually going downwards and we know they are losing money on their EVs, so Tesla could try to just undercut all the other Chinese competitors in their segment, as they could see no one else was lowering their price after Tesla except Ford and the Mach-E. But we will see what will happen here in the next couple of months. But I did also last week talk about how Tesla sales in China were down compared to September. But one thing I was reminded of by one of you guys in the comments was, remember, Tesla is exporting a lot of vehicles right now. So I checked Tesla's carrier map and could see Tesla had 9 ships in the water from Shanghai. 9 ships that can carry somewhere between 2,000 to 4,000 vehicles each. So that is a lot of units that have been produced but not yet have been delivered, so they do not show up as China wholesales as they are in transit. But that could be 20 to 30,000 units we're talking about. But we did get the production numbers for October this week, and that was a new record for Tesla, even though they didn't sell as many, but that is probably because of the large amount of cars that are currently in transit on boats. But in October, Tesla produced 87,706 Model 3s and Ys in Shanghai, but delivered 71,704 vehicles, leaving a gap of 16,002 Chinese-made cars in inventory, but beat September production numbers of 82,000 units by 5,000 units. So production is still ramping up fast, and Tesla added another 5,000 units to its production from just last month. And last month they added another 6,000 units in production. This is going up fast. And we also got the export numbers for October this week as well, and Tesla was the one that topping the chart with 54,504 units. That is also why I'm not so worried about Tesla China sales. It will come back when they don't export as much, but Tesla has also the rest of the world it can just send its car to right now if China should slow down a bit, as the wait time in most other places is still many months. But we also have to remember it is not like Tesla is just falling to the bottom of the list. This is a top 10 of new energy vehicles wholesales in October, and Tesla is still a top 4 with both their Model 3 and the Model Y. So still no real reason to concern, but definitely something we need to keep an eye on. But as you can see, Tesla is also the only non-Chinese brand on the list here, as someone like Volkswagen only had a wholesales of 16,771. So it is not Tesla's sales I think we need to worry about, as Volkswagen's ID family in October only sold 10,721 units in China. So even though Tesla export a lot of cars in their first month of the quarter, they still sold more cars domestically in China than Volkswagen did. And Tesla did sell about 78,000 units in September, the last month of the last quarter. So I think this puts Tesla's numbers into a little perspective, as so many people are talking about how Tesla is doing bad in China. Well, Tesla is still a top EV brand in China. That is more than we can say for pretty much any other Western branded EVs. And if we look at the first months of all quarters in this year, October is by far the biggest, as Dylan Loomis from Electrified also showed on his nice little chart he's made. So no matter what people say, we are off to a very good start for Q4, and this should become a nice new big record quarter once again in China as well. And Ford has done something very stupid. They have stolen software. The federal jury in Michigan found Ford guilty in violating a contract and misuse of trade secrets, awarding Texas-based Versatile Software $104.65 million after 3 weeks of trial testimony. So apparently Ford should have been reverse engineering the software and is using it today to run their businesses, and therefore have not paid the license fee for this software for 7.5 years. As the software company said in a statement, the automotive software that Ford is using today to keep Ford running and configuring cars has our stolen software in it. That's why the jury awarded $100 million to compensate us for the last 7.5 years that they continued using it after they refused to pay any more license fee. This is a really bad look for Ford. And since you have been found guilty, there must be some evidence showing this is true. This is trouble Tesla will never get into, as they make all of their own software themselves. As I made a whole video about, this is one of Tesla's advantages. They can scale up with 100,000 more employees without it costing Tesla a penny more in licensing software, because it's all made by Tesla themselves. But someone like Ford did not have the talent, as Jim Farley famously put it. They did not have the software engineers that could create such a software program to run their entire company on, so they chose to steal it. This could really hurt Ford as a brand, and shows yet another thing where Tesla saves millions of dollars compared to Ford. And Porsche Taycan hits a major production landmark. Porsche announced that the company has produced its 100,000th Porsche Taycan since its vehicle launch. Porsche Taycan production began in 2019, and today Porsche has expanded their Taycan offering with 3 body styles: the Sport Sedan, the Sport Turismo, and the Cross Turismo. The Taycan also have a 5 drivetrain options, so a lot of options here. But even though the Tesla Model S and X production has been struggling here in 2022 to ramp ramp up, it still shows us just how good Tesla is at ramping up production compared to the old guys. In 3 years, the Porsche has sold 100,000 Taycans of all their many models, where Tesla year to date in 2022, when they pretty much had to start from scratch with a whole new version of the Model S and X, as Sandy said, if you look at the inside of the Model S, you would not know it's the same car. But year to date, Tesla has already sold about 50,000 Model S and X, so Tesla could actually get to their highest numbers of S and X sold in a year in a long time. In 2019, they sold about 62,000 units. So even though Mark Spiegel said the Taycan would just kill the Tesla Model S and X, who would ever want to buy that car when Porsche came out with the Taycan? Well, apparently a bit more people would like Tesla's high-end cars than compared to the Taycan. So this is just to show that the short sellers and haters was wrong again. Didn't mean to take anything away from Taycan's 100,000 units produced. That is still very, very good. And that is 100,000 less ICE versions that are on the street, not polluting our air. So that's a win-win for all of us. So congratulations to Porsche for reaching this milestone. Tesla is earning 8 times more profit than Toyota per car in Q2 despite being outsold 7-1. Exactly. That is why I made a whole video about Tesla could become the most profitable car company on the planet by 2023. When we look at net income, even though they might be outsold 5-1 by Toyota in 2023, and this also shows us the pricing power that Tesla has, as we were just talking about in China, they could cut the profits in half per car and still earn more than twice as much as Toyota per car. And Toyota would not be able to cut their profits with that big of an amount, as they will then start losing money on their ICE cars. Tesla earned $3.3 billion in net income in Q3, as I reported on, and Toyota earned $3.15 billion. Yes, people are waking up and starting to see times changing in Japan, since Nikkei, the country's biggest business newspaper, led with this headline: Tesla earns 8 times more in profit than Toyota per car. Ouch. I did report last week that Toyota dropped 25% in profits in Q3, but they are quickly losing ground in the US as well, as they apparently dropped 32% in the US. As they also have no EVs in the US, the car that people actually want, especially in the biggest car market in the US, California, that had 17% BEVs in October. And Toyota have said that they might have to reboot the EV strategy, as their BEV platform that's in the BZ4X is too expensive for Toyota to mass produce. So if they start now to come up with a new EV platform, we should probably not expect to see anything before 5 to 7 years out. This is so bad, and the hydrogen cars are just dead in the water, as we can also see in the US sales numbers. Sales of hydrogen fuel cell cars remain low without much chance of significant growth, according to the Californian Fuel Cell Partnerships data. During the third quarter of 2022, only 153 hydrogen fuel cells were sold in the entire US, which is 82% less than a year ago. So they are actually going down. As I said in my video about hydrogen, when will they admit they have lost to EVs? No one is buying their hydrogen cars, but BEVs is rising up exponentially. Toyota don't even think they will be more than 30% BEVs by 2030. Well, China, the biggest car market on the planet and one of Toyota's biggest markets, expect to be 40% plug-in next year. Even if we look at the global car market, I expect the BEVs, so not including hybrids, will be somewhere between 20 to 25% of the car market next year. And Toyota don't have any BEVs to really sell next year. Nothing in high volume anyway. If Toyota manage to stay above 8 million units in sale next year, I will be very impressed. I think we are seeing the beginning of the fall of Toyota Toyota's Nokia moment, as I also made a whole video about like a month ago. They can't sell their very expensive hydrogen car. They have no EV platform anymore, and their ICE cars are dropping off a cliff as the rest of the industry is quickly making a shift to EVs, and they are hurting their own reputation by fighting against the EV shift, and that Toyota is in the top 10 of most negative and influential companies on climate policy. Yeah, they are in big trouble. 2022 will not be a good year for Toyota, and 2023 will be even worse, as Toyota is not ready for what is happening right now. And Elon made a Q&A on Twitter about Twitter and community notes and everything Twitter. And let's start with the community notes. It works a bit like Google. If people don't stay on the page that comes up, it will be downgraded because the person didn't find the stuff he was Googling for. The only notes that are widely found helpful are shown on the tweets, so one group only can determine what notes get shown. This will help to ensure that notes are helpful to a wide range of people. And to make it clear how all of this works, the community notes algorithm is open source and all the data is public available. You can go in on GitHub right now and see the code. This will make sure this will be the most trusted platform in the world, because I highly doubt many will follow Twitter on this before they have cleaned up the engine room, so to speak. But if they want to compete with Twitter, they probably have to down the road, or people will simply not trust the platform anymore. And things happen fast. Elon got the keys for Twitter like a week ago, but he has already done some things that people need to sink in, because this tells you a lot about how Twitter has been run. Like Elon firing people has got a lot of people in a twist, but again, let's just look at this. Elon made the 3 software teams down to 1 software team because they have already made the software much simpler and better, and he just got the keys last week. Twitter was losing $4 million per day, so Elon laid off 3,500 workers that enabled Twitter to make $10 million a day. This makes Twitter profitable even while they are paying $1 billion per year in interest for their $13 billion in loan. Yes, Twitter was a mess, and Elon has to clean it up before it can become the most awesome place on the internet. And he is a technologist that can make technology grow fast. So as Elon said in the interview on Twitter, we will make it agile and improvement will come quick. Yes, as all his other companies that has left everyone else in the dust in their respective industry, no matter if it's producing a car or reusing rockets that no one still can't do but SpaceX, that did it for the first time in 2015. And Elon also mentioned that longer videos are coming, like 42 minutes. Of course it's 42 minutes, but for the hour-long videos they need to make some changes to the back end of the server as they can't handle it. Yes, Twitter servers are also old technology, but Twitter or X.com will become a competitor to YouTube at some point. And Elon also wants to be able to make payment within Twitter, with cryptocurrency or not. This could be huge. This could probably be the vision Elon saw for PayPal back in the days before he left the company, because the board only wanted to make person-to-person transaction. I think Elon wants to make a whole new payment system. But no matter what, a lot of improvements are coming fast with half the staff. Let that sink in for a moment before you hate on Elon for firing the people that was not needed. Remember, YouTube still has less employee than Twitter has today after the firing, but has a much bigger user base. It made no sense what Twitter was doing, and this made the company go from losing money to be profitable. Let that one sink in for a moment. In a week, he made it from losing money to be profitable. Twitter has never before moved as fast as they do right now, and they are doing it with half the staff. Boy, was Twitter badly run. And we also heard another billionaire that works closely with Elon on SpaceX, Jared Isaacman, that says they are still on for March launch of their SpaceX mission, by the way, where he will do a spacewalk, so that's pretty cool. But he also had some great things to say about Elon Musk and how he will, of course, make Twitter the best place on the internet.
It's still looking like mid-March, so I feel very fortunate to be part of that program. We've got a lot of great things going. I mean, SpaceX is an extraordinary organization, trying to learn as much as I can from such an innovative company, bring a lot of that back to Shift 4, try and establish some of our Shift 4 way. I think that's kind of reflective in our numbers this quarter as well.
I'm just curious then on that. What would be something you learned from SpaceX that you would bring back, for example?
I mean, so I went to space as part of Inspiration for September of 2021. November of 2021, we launched the Shift 4 way in Shift 4. I mean, a number of philosophies on how to execute with urgency while innovating in extraordinary ways. I mean, you look at SpaceX, first company to land a rocket on a ship in 2015. They've done it over 100 times. No one else has done it since. I mean, when have we ever seen in technology that there isn't somebody nipping at the heels, and no one's been able to replicate that? They have a secret sauce. I've definitely been lucky to be able to observe that over the couple of years, bring it into Shift 4. It's things about how you take out the parts, how you operate as a flat organization, how you execute with urgency, how you fail very quickly and learn from it in order to iterate and optimize, in order to deliver better products faster out into the market. So it's definitely been a big part of what we've been trying to incorporate into our DNA over the last year.
You think he'll do the same at Twitter then? I mean, it sounds like a lot of those things are happening real time right now in the reports we hear about that company.
I think it's incredibly hard to ever bet against Elon. I mean, he's done this multiple times over. I mean, there's a lot of entrepreneurs who've gotten lucky with one organization, right place, right time. I mean, this guy's done it so many times over again. I don't know how you can't think he won't be able to deliver the same magic to Twitter.
So you don't think that he would be stretched, given the fact that he has so many ventures on his plate?
He had a lot of ventures before it.
So do you.
I mean, he obviously has an incredible amount of things going on. I think every one of the initiatives all comes from the idea of making the world a better place. I truly believe that. I think he's shown us that in Tesla. He's done it at SpaceX. I'm sure he's going to do it at Twitter as well.
Yes, don't bet against Elon Musk. He will get it done. He just works a little bit more, a little bit harder until Twitter is up and running. And then he will step down working so much on Twitter afterward. But we also have to remember, because of all this noise about Tesla and Twitter and the stock prices going down and so on, Tesla is still making record production and sales and everything is on track. So why are people getting so worked up about Elon spending time on Twitter? He can't handle it. He is handling it. And he has already made Twitter better. And Tesla is still on track. And the potential for Twitter, or X.com, could become huge. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this new show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Tesla showed off a new video about their team building their robots, and just so impressive how they are building everything from scratch, fully integrated. And I don't think people truly get how far they have already come, as this guy from the team said.
You're building something from scratch. To see it from its inception of a design or CAD, and to see it machined in parts on a table, to see that all come together is truly amazing. We're doing things we've never done before, and if we have the opportunity to recruit somebody that has that experience, I think when they join this team, they will truly be impressed with the speed of how fast we were able to acclimate and to optimize and have something that is a work of art, as I feel, a working robot.
And the Tesla bot also visits China Import Expo, and the event was much better than Tesla had hoped for, with a lot of attendees at their booth. And Tesla showed another video of their Megapack factory and also wrote, "Mega factory is capable of producing 10,000 Megapack units per year. That's equal to 50 fossil fuel peaker plants. That is a great comparison, that the factory produced enough battery storage to replace 50 fossil fuel peaker plants every single year going forward." Nice. And BYD is launching a premium brand that is set to launch in Q1 of 2023. The premium brand is aimed at the market price of around 1 million RMB, around $140,000, and will use BYD's cutting-edge automotive technology to bring consumer a new experience of extreme performance like never before, a source said. So that sounds good, and that could be very interesting. We unfortunately have some more bad news from Toyota, as the Norwegian car magazine Elbil24 did some testing of Toyota's BZX4, and it seemed Toyota has lied about the car performance. As the headline says here in Norwegian, scandal result for Toyota in range test. Toyota says the car can do 470 or 516 kilometers depending on the all-wheel version or not, but Elbil could not get it to do much more than 307 or 318 kilometers in perfect condition. And they also did the test multiple times, as they thought they must have made some mistakes since it was about 40% of the claimed range, but result stayed the same, and that was in perfect 23 degrees Celsius without air conditioning on, because they made a test with the air conditioning on, and even though it was in nice weather, the car's range dropped over 100 kilometers. Yeah, they definitely don't have a heat pump in this car, and is one of the worst EVs on the planet right now. It used 1.91 kilowatt hour per mile. Normally, you can't get the range the automakers claim if you drive very slowly in good weather, but here Elbil says it would never be possible. So they tested the battery to see how big it was, and it appears that the usable battery capacity is also about 12 kilowatt hours smaller than what Toyota is claiming, and the charging speed claimed is 150 kilowatt, but they could never get it up over 112 kilowatt, no matter what they tried. This car is a disaster for Toyota. You should not buy this car. Get a BYD, a Kia, Hyundai, Volkswagen, Ford, Tesla, NIO, Polestar, whatever, anything else but this car. The biggest failure in the history of EVs. And Zach wrote on Twitter, officially driving my Tesla Model 3 through 40 US state plus Canada. This thing is a road trip machine. Couldn't agree more. Best road trip car on the planet. And Green NCAP rewarded Tesla Model 3 with an overall score of 9.8 out of 10 and a well-deserved 5 green stars, approving that this sporty car has been designed with special attention to efficiency and driving range. Tesla Model 3 is leading the pack in European efficiency test. And Zoom is coming to your Tesla in the near future. Probably not the best Zoom experience, but nice to have the option to do so if you need to. But nice to see more and more features like this is coming to your Tesla, because when it becomes a full self-driving car, these features start to make more sense. Right now it's more like a gimmick. And Tesla recalled 40,000 vehicles, but they are solving the issue with an over-the-air update, like 95% of all Tesla's so-called recalls. Certain 2017 and 2021 Tesla Model S and X vehicles had an issue with electronic power assist steering system, but 97% of cars should already have updated to the new software, so Tesla has already fixed the issue before the mainstream media could even spell recall. And Tesla shared yet another video of their safety, where they show how they make hundreds of crash tests in a simulation before they make the real crash test to get as much data as possible. Yes, the stock is down, and yes, he's buying Twitter, but Tesla's cars are still the safest car in the world you can buy. And we got a good example that the old guys can't do what Tesla does. They need help. They don't know how to make software. Just as we saw with Ford stealing software because they couldn't do it themselves. Now Renault Group and Google is accelerating their partnership. This collaboration of cloud computing, initiated in 2018, is accelerating today with the creation of a digital twin. Where did they get that idea? A virtual twin of the vehicle that will feature the most advanced artificial intelligence capabilities for easier and continuous integration of new services into the vehicles and the creation of new onboard in-car service and off-board applications. So what Tesla has already had for years is what they need Google to help to create. It's not easy being an old legacy automaker in this new digital age. And according to Alex, the French Senate has approved legislations that will require all parking lots with spaces for 80 or more cars to be covered with solar panels. Now that is a great idea, then the car is also always in the shade. And Audi is trying to correct the e-tron naming mess, as the e-tron is being renamed to the Audi Q8 e-tron with the new 2024 version that has more range and new style. Looks very nice, very Audi-like. It will have more range with 300 plus miles, but it will have a huge battery of 114 kilowatt hours, up from 95 kilowatt hours. But the new pack takes up the same physical space in the car, so that's very cool to see. It can only charge with 170 kilowatt charging, up from 150 kilowatts, so still much lower than Tesla or Hyundai or many of the Chinese. But it looks more sleek and better looking in my opinion. But then we get inside the car and not much has changed in here. Still a very big messy cluster of small screens and buttons all over the place, and old school vents, just a very old school look in my opinion. Nothing new and exciting here. It still looks like all the other ICE versions of a new Audi. Here is the inside of the Q8 ICE version. So if you're looking for an Audi, well, this is a great pick over any of their ICE cars. And Tesla is starting to hire workers specifically for Cybertruck production at Gigafactory Texas, according to new job listings seen by Electric. Oh yes. And yes, Tesla stock is down, but as a long-term investor, I don't mind. I just see this as a buying opportunity because nothing fundamental about Tesla has changed. And the last time the stock price was this low was back in 2020, as Dylan Loomis pointed out on Twitter. Then operation margin was 5.6%, now 17.2%. The net income back then was 270 million, now 3.3 billion. Then deliveries was 180,000, now it's 344,000. So the fundamentals are much better today than back in 2020, and Tesla has only just started. So I'm still buying Tesla stock whenever I have some money to do so. And if you haven't already, don't forget to get your copy of my new book, The Elon Musk Mission, Making the Future Awesome. Link down below. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest patrons of this new show: Christian Frosch, Venice Gano, and Andrea Jefferson. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. Thank you. And a big and a special thanks to Supporter of the Week, and this week's winner is Ivan Sandy Wired. He has been an thank you for watching members of mine for 2 years. Thank you so much, Ivan, for all your support. Please contact me on this email down below so I can get your address to get you your free t-shirt or mug of your choice. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. We have a video of GM helping out Tesla with the EV race. That is all we have time for in this new show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps out this video. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one.
If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. And if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to a donation options in the show notes. And also as simple as hitting the super like button. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only. And I will give my YouTube members and patrons early access to my videos whenever possible and make my videos ads free for members and patrons only. So don't miss out.
And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.